G'day everybody, welcome to Rescue Buddy. I'm Adrian, and today I want to talk to you about hope. So, hope is really important. I don't know how people can get through depression without hope. You need hope so that you can persevere and so that you can heal. And hope is a hard thing because a lot of people when you get depressed, you start thinking lots of negative thoughts, and one of the negative thoughts that many people think is that they'll never get better. So it's this huge fear that you're going to be stuck in this state forever. And I can understand. I mean, I used to believe that. I used to have that thought many times, and just have this thought and this feeling that it's just going to go on forever and never stop. The fact is that is just a thought. That is not reality. It doesn't have to go on forever. Healing is possible, and I'm an example of it. I went through depression for a long time, and then I got free of it in January this year, and I've been 95% free during this year, except for a handful of days where I started feeling depressed, snapped out of it because I know how to get out of it now, and now I know how to be healthy. See, but it took a lot of hard work. So I want to give you some key truths that will help you to find hope, because you can't just fake it and pretend you've got hope. You've got to really change your beliefs. And so I understand if you feel like there's no hope of getting better, but I want to tell you that it's not true, and I want to tell you why that's the case. So the first truth I want you to think about is the fact that you were not born depressed. All right, babies are not born depressed, right? You see a little toddler, once they get old enough to walk, they're running around, they're playing, they're going crazy, they're having fun. Babies aren't born depressed, all right? We were all babies once. This is not built into who we are. We didn't come with the depression. We weren't born with a chemical imbalance. It's something that things, life events happen to us along the way. We went through some difficult things that affected us, and after those things happened, then we got depressed. Or maybe certain things didn't happen. Maybe we didn't get something we needed, and that led to depression. But whatever it is, there's a definite cause, all right? Otherwise, why were you born happy, all right? Why did it change? So that's the first truth to accept about yourself. You were not born depressed, and if you weren't born depressed, that means that who you really are is separate from depression. All right, it's not part of you. It's in your life. It's affecting you, yes, but the depression is not you. There's a real you inside somewhere, and it might be hard to find, but it is there. Believe me. I had many times where I thought the real me had been destroyed. I thought the real me had disappeared, but it's not true. That is a lie. You can find the real you again. It might take hard work and it might take time, but it's in there. So the next truth to embrace is that there is a cause for your depression, or causes. Sometimes it can be tricky to get to the bottom of all the causes, because the external events and circumstances that led to your depression are a part of it, but then some of the causes could be beliefs and values, and it could be beliefs that you hold about yourself, or things that people told you that you took in, and And those things are harder to see because they're not events, but they're things that we've internalized, and we can only really find them by looking for clues in the way that we're acting, the way that we respond to certain events and triggers. But the fact is, your depression is actually it's a symptom of the causes. All right, there are certain causes, there are certain things in your life that are not in the right place. All right, maybe certain beliefs that don't match reality, or that are harmful beliefs, and maybe it's part of it could be your situation. Maybe something in your situation needs to change. It could be your habits. Maybe something in your habits needs to change, but and it definitely could be a combination. It's not always simple, but the fact is, the causes are causing your depression, because these horrible feelings are ways of gauging how we're doing. They're feelings of gauging: is everything going well? Are things bad? Am I currently processing grief? Am I currently is there an injustice that I need to be angry about and take action about? Is there tension that needs to be resolved? Is there danger that I need to be afraid of and run from? So I mean, these are the basic emotions that we come with as humans, and when they manifest in our lives, they're either warning signs, or they're signs of something good going on. But they're a sign to take action. All right, when there's a bad emotion, it's a sign that we need to change something or protect something. When our emotions are good, it's a sign that we should keep going that way. We should pursue something, right? The problem with depression is that the bad emotions are so confusing or so overwhelming that we don't know how to deal with them, and we let them get out of control. We don't find a way to make the change that needs to happen. We just get stuck in feeling that emotion, and the cause is still there somewhere, but we get all these extra emotions, these even worse feelings than the normal emotions that people get, because we start having these horrible feelings of, well, no one cares and I'm never going to get free and all of that. So I hope I've convinced you that there are causes for all of these. It's not random, all right? It's not just a freak accident that you're depressed and you're just never going to get better. Unfortunately, just the way that the way that society talks about depression, and the way that sometimes, sadly, doctors may just put you on medication, but they may not give you hope that you can get better. Even if people give you that impression, it's not true. All right, whether you get better is up to you. Whether you're going to work hard and overcome, deal with those root causes. So the fact is, your past is not what determines what happens in your future. It's you who determines what happens in your future, because you're free to make choices, and no one else can control what choices you make. Your past can't. It affects your feelings, it affects your circumstances, but it can't control your choices, right? You're still free today to make choices that are going to help you. And one of the key things with depression is finding the strategies that are going to help, because it's overwhelming, it's confusing. There seems to be a lack of really good advice on how you can help yourself, what's going to help you get out of this thing. But the fact is, if you face root causes, if you identify what they are, and face your fears, often that will involve facing probably your biggest fears, and identify bad habits, and you make action to change them. All right, you you disconnect from harmful things that are in your life. If you take action on these root causes, then that does bring healing. All right, I can't make promises about how long it will take to get healed, but what I can promise you is healing is possible if you're willing to choose to take the action to deal with the root causes. Then healing is possible, because the depression is caused by that stuff. That's one part of your journey, is dealing with the root causes, but there's another part that you need as well, which is putting good things in your life, bringing nourishment into your life. And that's equally as important. If you get rid of all the bad things, but you don't bring good things into your life, then to replace them, then it's like you're a blank page now, and something has to go on that page. But if you don't actively pursue the good things, then the fact is all these bad feelings and bad habits, and even if it's just bad habits of thinking that come with depression, they're very familiar. All right, you're used to them, and it's easy for them to come back unless you invest in putting good things in your life. So change that habit, face that fear, but then bring something good in to replace it. You bring nourishing things into your life, nourishing people into your life. So those are the two things that you've got to, if you want to have hope, and if you want to get better, then firstly you got to change your beliefs. All right, you weren't born depressed. Healing is possible. The depression has causes, and those causes are things that you can deal with. You might not feel like you can, but they are things that it's possible to address them, and there are strategies that can help you. And you've got to commit, right? You've got to choose that it's worth going on this journey to get better. You've got to decide that it's worth waiting. It's worth waiting out, playing this waiting game to finally get to the point where you're better, because you are so valuable. Every one of you are incredibly amazing people, and you have something unique and something precious to give to the world, and the world will never see that if you give up hope. All right, so hope is so important, and only you can choose whether you're going to have hope or not. It's not something that's based on a feeling. Hope is a belief. All right, and so if you figure out what you believe, all right, about reality, forget feelings. What is true? All right, truth is really important to you when you're in depression, because feelings will lie to you all the time, and truth will keep you going if you work out healthy things to believe, all right, and things that are realistic to believe, and it's a bit like uprooting a plant, all right? So depression has symptoms on the surface, much like a tree, all right? You see the leaves and the branches of the tree, you see fruit hanging off it, but what you don't see is this root system that goes deep underground. And actually that root system is supporting the tree, okay? It couldn't survive without the roots. But you don't see the roots, you just see the branches. In the same way, you see the symptoms of depression. You see the negative feelings. You see just this horrible black hole. But what you don't see is what's not visible on the surface is this root system of beliefs and values, and actually those beliefs are enabling the depression to continue. All right, they're because you have certain beliefs, you see reality a certain way, and the way you're seeing reality is twisting it to make it seem completely black and negative. So actually, you know, if you just try and cut lots of branches off a tree, it's not enough to kill the tree. You've got to actually get a shovel, dig down deep, and uproot that root system, which means facing all those scary beliefs and fears, and looking at things like values. So that's how we get rid of the bad, and then to bring in the good, you got to plant a new tree. So it's like you dig up that old unhealthy tree of negative thoughts and beliefs, and then you got to plant a new tree. And it's like the seed you put in the ground is a belief that you're choosing, all right? Belief about reality and about yourself. Now, to start with, the first step is planting it, but then if you just plant a seed and you don't water it, well, who knows whether it's actually going to survive. You've got to plant that seed, and then you've got to keep watering it. So you got to take care of that belief. You got to invest in that belief. You got to chuck fertilizer on, chuck water on. That means in terms of depression, that means you're building up these positive beliefs, but you've got to invest in them. You got to remind yourself of them. All right. When you catch yourself thinking negative, you got to pause and say, wait a second, I might be feeling like this is true, but I'm choosing to believe this against my feelings. I'm choosing to believe what I know is true, and you're investing in that good plant when you do that. With the plant, it takes time for plants to grow. You got to give it time. But the fact is, when a tree grows and then it gets to full size, then it has fruit, right? If it's a bad tree, if it's a sick tree, it's going to have sick fruit. But if it's a good tree, it's going to have good fruit, all right? That's going to happen in your life as well if you commit to waiting it out, to fighting this. If you got no other reason to fight for it because you're worth it. You're valuable, all right? So, time for a practical step now. I want you to get try and find the biggest sheet of paper or cardboard you can, and maybe colored pens or texters, and I want you to write a poster that captures the hope that you've got, the hope that you're choosing, all right? But remember, not a feeling. This is a belief. This is something you're choosing to believe, all right? And you're choosing to believe it because you weren't born depressed. You're not meant to be depressed, and you are able to confront these root causes, and you are able to get better if you have hope. You hold on to hope, right? You keep believing, you keep fighting, you keep persevering, you don't give up. So I want you to chuck that into it. Try and express that in a poster, and then I want you to stick that poster to somewhere in your house, your fridge door, your toilet, your back of your bedroom door, on the wall next to your bed, somewhere where you're going to see it every day, all right? Because you need to be reminded that you've got hope. That's all for now. I'm excited to be able to share this stuff with you guys. I really hope it helps. Take care. Keep fighting. Don't give up. See you next time.